And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing, all at the same time. Coming up on episode 63, we're honking for Jesus to save our soul. Twitter, charging for a on-demand feature, and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, my man? We've got a great show coming up. We've got a great show. How you feeling?
Live long and prosper, y'all. Kush Hayes here, coming to you the day before International Star Trek Day. So happy Star Trek Day to all the fans out there.
How would you normally celebrate that? Would you just dress up as a Star Trek character?
I mean, I'm wearing my Klingon jersey. Like, I feel like that's enough. Maybe we'll watch some Wrath of Khan tonight. Maybe some First Contact. I don't know. Maybe we'll even explore some of the newer stuff like Discovery and Picard. We haven't seen any of those yet. Still,
I do need to finish the first season of Picard. I got about halfway through and I quite enjoyed it. But there's a second season now, right?
There's a second season with a third on the way.
Oh, Patrick Stewart still going at what, 112 years old now?
He's a generous youth.
Yeah, he's still doing way more than I'm doing at 37. So hats
Sir
off
Pat
to him.
Stew. Yeah, good times.
What's the unlucky color in Star Trek? What's the color of the uniforms that they always die in every episode? Is it red? No, yellow.
The internet meme is the guys in the red shirts, but it's actually
shirts.
the blue shirts. If you actually do a
Except
tally of it.
Except for what was his face? The Doctor, Leslie Crusher's son. He wore blue, didn't he, for a while? And for some reason he kept surviving.
No, he wore red.
Did he?
When he wasn't wearing gray or just his normal civilians.
That's it. He used to wear gray, just like his persona. Lovely guy, though. Lovely guy in real life.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear.
I said I bumped into him extremely briefly in Vegas.
Oh, how'd that go?
He was eating steak, and I just went, "Hey, how's it going?" He was like, "Hey," and I thought, "Oh, he's eating dinner. I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna annoy him."
No,
yeah,
you made the right move. Nothing wrong with saying hi, but keep it going.
Great beard, though. He can grow a great beard in real life.
All right.
If he ever came back for some Star Trek reunion stuff, like I would love to see old man Wesley with a cracking beard, like he's seen some shit.
Okay, you're talking about like as a character? Yeah. I think that might be a thing on season 3 of Picard. But again, I'm not well versed in anything, so
not well versed in the universe.
No, you are correct.
Before we get into tonight's show, we've got a lot. For those listening to this, I'm going to rustle my papers. I've got so many papers.
Waffle box goodness, baby. It's popping hot.
What have you been up to? Well, as people always say, they ask a question because they want to get it asked back. So how was your day today, Kush?
Today was very mellow. Again, we're celebrating Star Trek Day, but we've actually had the last 4 days off, so that's been nice. We've just been adapting to like doing nothing again. Otherwise, we've been going hard since like May, dude. We should be working on the next microdose, but maybe I need this rest. What have you been doing, Mr. Mike?
Yeah, thank you. There we go. So today was the first day of my new job.
Oh, very exciting! Congratulations, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna raise a drink to you on that one.
Cheers, clinky.
Clink.
The only problem is because it's obviously I'm not going to go into too much information, but it's a corporate job, corporate America, and so obviously
like anything else.
Obviously they have to go through the onboarding, so you have to go, learn about HR, learn about IT, learn about this, learn about that, and so the day was literally 6 1-hour Zoom meetings. Back to back. Wow. And this is not their fault. They are a West Coast based business.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, normally once I get into it, I'll be working East Coast hours, but for their training, I had to work West Coast hours. So my final Zoom meeting finally ended just after 7 p.m. And my brain was melted at that point.
Yeah. Well, so that's still 4 p.m. in California.
Yeah, so
That's still,
technically I had an early finish, but it was
yeah.
7 o'clock.
But did you start at 10 or 10 a.m. your
No, I
time?
started at 12. So that was at least I got
Start
to
at 12.
sleep in a little bit. So it's not the end,
All right,
but
all right.
it was the 6 Zoom calls. That was the thing that killed it for me.
And then you still made it to this, man. Thank you.
Oh, this is the best
Thank you,
part of
Blair.
Wednesday. Why would I miss it?
That's what's up.
Gotta get the catchphrase in. Right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
man.
one sip of beer and then we'll get into the show. Ready?
Go.
Now we're gonna start. Opening story is a man who I feel that out of the 63 episodes, we must have mentioned him at least 50 times. This kid will not fuck off. Well, hopefully he will now. So everyone should remember Mr. Eldon, Spencer Eldon, aka the
Spencer Baby Dick Eldon.
Yes, the Nevermind baby or the Nirvana baby, whatever you want to call him. So you may remember in a previous episode of remember the podcast name, he tried suing Nirvana for child pornography, basically, because if you don't know, the album Nevermind features a baby swimming in the swimming pool, and they're photoshopped like this fishing hook with a dollar bill on it. And is a naked baby. So in the original cut of the album, you saw his baby dick. And he tried to allude to the what it was like because it was a naked baby swimming after a dollar bill. That's child prostitution and all of this nonsense.
Done without consent, and yeah, like, all this negative shit after spending like what was 15 years, 20 years of like just reaping the benefits of
going
being the
around
kid on that cover,
literally introducing himself to women in nightclubs and bars as the Nirvana baby. Okay. And appearing at like Nirvana, like
how do you disprove that? How do you prove or disprove that? I'm the Nirvana baby.
just hold up the CD case and next to his small penis. See, it's uncanny, right? But yeah, he tried suing Nirvana again, and finally, a judge in I'm going to assume I did have it. Yeah, of course, it's Los Angeles. A Los Angeles judge finally ruled on Friday that Mr. Eldon lodged his case well beyond the 10-year statute of limitations. Oh, and so basically, the judge finalized it to where now legally this man can never, ever, ever try to sue Nirvana again. Like, you're done, pal. You've had 5 attempts now at this point, and he's finally done and dusted.
Well done, Judge.
Yes. But there was more that came out in this. So obviously what he said is that, hey, I was 1 year old when I had this photo shoot. How dare they? I was far too young to give consent for this photo. Which, actually, that is a very good point. The 1-year-old cannot legally give consent to this kind of thing. Now, if you are trying to use a photograph of a baby, that baby can't give consent. Who legally would you ask? By just thinking about who would you ask, Kush? Who would you ask?
Would it be my neighbors?
No, try again.
Okay. Be my barber. Barber.
Last chance.
Oh no. Yeah, last chance. My legal guardian or parents or even priest or rabbi.
Well, no, you could, priest or rabbi. We want to keep the priest far away from a naked baby. But yes, the parent or legal guardian. And won't you know that his parents were paid $200 for the photo in 1991? But obviously, at the time, Nirvana weren't a very big band until the album was finally released. So perhaps, I don't want to assume, but maybe I guess he's just a little bit mad that he only got $200, or his parents got $200,
Yeah, he didn't get nothing.
and he's like, "I want more money," and they're like, "Fuck you, legally, go fuck yourself, Spencer Eldon."
Yeah. You had mentioned that detail in one of the other two times we talked about this, and we also
He's like the
mentioned
third time, right? I think.
this is the third time, and we'd also talked about like this man has already benefited from being on that record cover. Like there
He
were
has,
other
never
anniversary
mind,
events.
he has the album name tattooed on his chest.
D-bag, such a dickhead.
How can you get
Yeah,
the album name tattooed on you, then say, "I'm not happy about this"?
yeah, right. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, what a dick.
What
So
a tiny dick.
he's already prospered off this. There were obviously other anniversary events that he was a part of that they pay for that. They actually pay like in the thousands for that. Maybe not like $10,000, but like he made 10 times at least what his parents made
He
in
has
just one
reenacted the
event.
photo,
He's reenacted the photo.
but
Like
you can't be that mad
it's
about
it's
it.
a whole thing. You shouldn't be this mad about it. So he, as we also discussed, he's effed himself. Nirvana is going to lose his number. They will never call him ever again to be a part of anything. That album is going to live the test of time. All right, it's going to see multiple more formats. Just
Although I
something
do believe
past
you can't see the
MP3 and
penis
streaming.
anymore. I think they have removed the baby penis.
Yeah, why not?
Why
So what? Yeah, why not? That's not hurting anything.
not?
So,
if
but yeah,
only, if only this man could edit his life,
yeah, right. He
much
made a
like,
huge mistake here.
much like you'll soon be able to edit your tweets, Cushays.
Ooh,
Ooh,
fantastic segue.
thank you,
Please
thank you,
tell me
thank you.
more about this.
This is something that's annoyed me. Right. So, what is your because apparently, and I've seen it, so many people on Twitter have been begging on their knee, begging for an edit button.
For over a decade.
Now,
Absolutely.
before we get into that, what are your thoughts on an edit tweet button?
It's good. Yeah, because I can't tell you how many times like I've spelled out a tweet, and then even though I double checked it, somehow my fat fucking thumb hit a different button, but my eyes still didn't see it somehow, and then I hit that send button, and then it is very visible, and you can't escape it to the point where like I will copy the whole goddamn thing, I will re-edit it, I will fix the correction, and then I will resend that and delete the previous tweet, and that takes like 2 minutes, and then still people have already seen that previous tweet.
And
It's
they'll
out there.
screenshot it if you're big enough. They won't let you live that
Don't
down.
screenshot anything of me, thankfully. But it's been a problem. It's always been just like, hey, it's literally just the tiniest misspelling. I would like to correct it. Let me have my edit button.
It is almost like your brain knows exactly what you're doing, and it's just waiting for you to press send. And as soon as you hit send, there's that little voice in your head goes, "You used the wrong there, dickhead." Yeah, fuck.
It literally like highlights for me. It's the weirdest thing, dude. Like I will scan that thing 2 to 3 times, see that there's nothing wrong with it, hit the send button, and then that error just flashes right out to me. And I'm like, oh no, that's not supposed to be a period. It's supposed to be a comma, or whatever the case may be. I know you want to get into the story in a minute. The guys who developed Twitter were once upon a time on the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick. He brought up, why is there not an edit button? They went, your error has to be your error. You can always delete it, but you made that error, and you don't have to live with it. But we don't want you to like get like 50,000 retweets and 100,000 likes, and then have you edit and go like, Hitler had some funny ideas. Go from don't kick puppies to, Hitler was pretty misunderstood dude.
And suddenly I've liked a Nazi tweet.
Yeah, that's always been their argument, but I've always been like, but still we can avoid that. That can be avoided.
Well, apparently, I mean, earlier on when they were even thinking about it, they would send like you would get a notification that, hey, a tweet you liked or tweet you retweeted has been edited. Do you want to change your mind? But like, what if that happens in the middle of the night? I'm asleep, and then 8 hours go by, and my like is still sitting there. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I've never gotten that notification. Can you
No,
elaborate?
no. Once they're saying when they were thinking about developing the edit button,
Okay.
they an idea they had was that if someone was to edit a tweet that you liked, you would then get a notification to say, "Oh, FYI, this tweet's been edited. Do you want to unlike it?" Basically, which is
they could. I mean, Twitter already sends me some of the weirdest notifications, like so and so is going live in 10 seconds. Like, what? No, I don't need to know that. Like,
oh, I've turned off pretty much all my notifications. I don't give a shit.
oh god, yeah, they do some gross stuff on there these days. Twitter is my least favorite app these days. Like, I'm more on Facebook that has an edit button, and
Oh,
I can just.
Yeah, I'm not a Facebooker. I'm a tweeter. I don't like
That's fine.
Instagram. I like Twitter. But anyway,
Well,
so
Instagram has my big booty hose and my kittens, so
that's true.
it's always second.
That damn big booty hole algorithm. But so they're finally launching this. So it's in the testing mode, but they're launching it. But for you to edit your tweets, you have to subscribe to Twitter Blue for $5 a month. So you have to spend $5 a month to have the capability of
the privilege of editing. No. I
looked up Twitter Blue. There are so many other features. So maybe I'm going to read out some of the features for Twitter Blue.
Okay, please, because I've heard of Twitter Blue, and I just went like, what? It's just more Twitter. Why would I pay for that? So break it down, Mike Fish.
As well as being able to edit your tweets, you are going to have a shortcut to the most shared articles by people you follow. Okay. A reader, a built-in reader. So if you click on a news story, I guess it will make it look nicer rather than. Okay. Safari on an iPhone already has that, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
Bookmark folders. Organize your bookmarks into folders and avoid endless scrolling.
What?
Choose from seasonal and colorful app icons and themes to give your Twitter a whole new vibe. And you can have an NFT as your profile picture. Fuck you, Twitter.
None of that is worth $5 on its own, let alone as a group bundle. Fuck you.
Especially that NFT. That's a whole nother thing. I know we've spoke about this before, but I've literally muted the phrase NFT on Twitter. I don't anyone who mentions NFT, I don't want to see that shit because it's dumb. Dumb. That and cryptocurrency. That's the hill I'm dying on. NFTs and cryptocurrencies are dumb. That's why, do you remember, again, on a previous Waffle Box, we spoke about that country that adopted cryptocurrency as their national currency and the economy crashed overnight in like a day?
Less than a day. Yeah, that was hilarious. Except if you live there. Then it was not funny. Sorry.
So, yeah. You want, and do you know what's really annoying about this?
Dogecoin, right? What?
Dogecoin. No, I think was it Dogecoin?
It probably wasn't, but just for the Waffle, for the Serb squad, we're going to say it's Dogecoin.
It's Dogecoin. Yeah, facts. Do you know what annoys me about this is the fact that
what annoys you, Mike Fish?
There's going to be so many people that are going to spend $5 a month on their Twitter account just so they can edit it. Just delete it. Because I think you're only going to, your tweets will be available to edit a few times, quote unquote.
What? Not all the time?
In the first 30 minutes after posting. So for example, in the 30 minutes, you have, let's say, 5 attempts to edit it. If it's not right, then you have to delete it and start again.
Oh, Twitter.
$5. Like how?
I want to drive down. Well, I won't be driving. I want to take the bus down to the Twitter corporate offices right now and throw an egg at their window. That's probably illegal by a lot, but that's what I would like to do.
Edit that. You throw the egg.
No, I heard it in my head. I saw the whole picture. I'm on a Leaf scooter or whatever one of those stupid things powered by Uber is. And I'm just like, fuck your mother.
Fuck all your
That's-
mothers.
And that's your waffle box reenactment of the thing that hasn't happened.
But it could do. It could be coming to a news story near you. That's what I see. That's the beauty of this podcast. I'm taking timestamps so I can clip this stuff. 20 minutes. F your mother. And then I'll read that tomorrow and I'll be like, what the fuck were we talking about?
You won't be disappointed either, because let me just for the kids at home again. Fuck your mother. That's me throwing the egg.
I'm assuming that's the kind of noise it makes.
Yeah. Well, it's also on training mode, so I can't go faster than 7 miles an hour. So that's why it's really slow. It's like,
Once you get your full license,
fuck your
though,
mother.
your beard will be blowing in the wind and it'll be glorious.
I'll probably have my face mask on still, just because that's cold. Yeah.
You have to go slow for the full effect. Otherwise, if you go too fast, then they'll just be like outside, like in their cigarette break, and they'll just hear you, fuck you. Fuck my what? Huh? Never mind. Whatever.
I hope he didn't say something about my mother. Oh my god. What an asshole.
Yeah. Fuck you, Twitter. Anyway, let's move on to some people who have made the most of their lives and broken world records.
Oh, hell yeah.
In this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week on the Dumb World Record, we have a twofer.
Ooh.
Just because another one caught my eye and it's close to home, so I thought I'll cover that one as well. But this first story from the Dumb World Record comes to us from a German martial artist nicknamed Hammerhands. Which,
oh no,
how can you not love a man named Hammerhands? And what's kind of annoying, maybe it's kind of like a stereotype, I don't know, or maybe it's just it's a German name. I'm kind of disappointed it's not Hammerhands, like H-A-N-S, Hammerhands,
yes.
but it's Hammerhands. Now you're wondering, obviously, why is this man named Hammerhands? Well, one, because he's a martial artist and he's got very strong hands. But also his real name is Mohammed Karimanovich.
Hammerhands is much easier to pronounce. That is a fact. Let's just go with Hammerhands. That's what my mama calls me.
Yeah. Hammerhands, dinner's ready.
Yes, mama. Coming.
Wash your hands, Hammerhands. Oh, you broke the sink again.
Yes, mama. I'm sorry, mama.
Brushing the taps as you turn him on. Oh, curse my Hammerhands. Imagine shaking that man's hand. Like, just break every bone. Just touch the elbows instead. Leave your hands away. But anyway, so this man, Hammerhands, recently broke the world record for most baseball bats chopped through in 1 minute.
Wow. Okay, how many did it do?
Well, in 1 minute, if you're thinking like the average baseball bat, and I'm assuming these are wooden baseball bats, not the
They would have to be.
metal ones.
No, aluminum.
That would be impressive.
Not the aluminum.
That would
be very impressive.
Do you imagine while he was breaking the world record, just for a laugh, the guy feeding him the bats, slipped in the aluminum ones? I'm not going to do a German accent, but yeah, that'd be funny. So he broke the world record for most baseball bats chopped through in a minute by chopping through 68 baseball bats.
What the fuck? How?
That's more than one a second.
That's more than yeah.
But
one under. Like, is he doing like 3 at a time? Like, damn.
That's like furious.
Dude.
Like 15-year-old in his bedroom.
It's already hard enough
Action.
to break one baseball bat. In fact, you will see like baseball players that get so mad they crack that son of a bitch over their knee. But like, Bo Jackson killed his career doing that. He's not like a weak dude by any means either. Like he fucked his whole shin up or his whole thigh up cracking a bat over his knee
If you're
repeatedly.
gonna break a barrier,
That was
be
his thing.
confident that you can do it. Otherwise, you look stupid.
It was a thing of his. Like it wasn't just one and done. Like he would keep doing it, but that there's you're not supposed to do it once even. Like Fish, just to let you know.
The poor fellow who makes the baseball bats crying like I put a lot of time and effort into that.
I gotta make more of them and charge you guys $300 a pop.
Just give him the shit ones next time. He doesn't look after them. But this Hammer Hands is a multiple-time world record holder. He also holds the world record for most coconuts smashed with one hand.
Okay. I feel like we've had this guy on before.
I don't think we have.
I feel like coconut smashing was a thing we've talked about before. Or maybe maybe not. Maybe not.
Now I'm gonna have to
maybe
go
I'm thinking
the
something
archives.
else.
But yeah, he
dumb world records. That's a lot of dumb world records.
It says within the time, but it didn't specify how long he had to smash the coconuts. But still, he smashed 148 coconuts. What a waste!
In a minute?
Well, it doesn't say. It just says within the time limit.
Oh,
So
wow.
could have been
That's pretty
5
impressive.
hours. So I don't know. I hope they, used those coconuts afterwards.
No, they probably swept them up and threw them away. My Fish, I once upon a time worked at a grocery store and I was taking out some bad produce and one of them was a coconut.
Did you
Fell out of
smash
my
it?
hand. I dropped it on accident and the goddamn thing bounced and then came right back up to me. Like no chip or whatever. So I threw it at a wall and that fucking thing came back right at me. Like over repeated attempts, I would finally break it, but that was not that was a chore.
Now do that
So in
147 more times.
No.
Hammer hands.
Hammer hands did it with his hands. I just threw that shit at a wall repeatedly. It probably hurt my back doing it that day.
It didn't bounce back and hit you in the face. Like that's why you're wearing the glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I got one eye that goes this way and one eye goes that way. It's like Lois Lane on Superman and Lois.
You can't drink Bacardi anymore. This brings back memories.
Oh,
the coconut! Oh.
No more coconuts. No more coconuts. No more coconuts.
I've been a good boy. No more coconuts.
I just lose it immediately inside bowling alleys. Like, too close. Too close. No more coconuts.
Yeah, congratulations, Hammerhands. But I did mention we had a twofer.
Oh,
so the only reason I'm not making this its own dumb world record all week is because technically this world record hasn't been officially certified by the Book of Guinness World Records.
Really?
However, I had to mention
that in the tag
because a world record was mentioned and it's pretty damn dumb. So, have you ever heard of YouTuber Mr. Beast?
No.
Okay, so I've heard, I've never watched one of his videos, but this man is pretty popular on the old YouTube. So this man has something like
couple
500 billion followers on. He's like
500 billion.
I think that might be an exaggeration, but I think he's like something like the most. He is one of the most popular. Oh, there we go. One of the most popular people on the video sharing platform with more than 100 million subscribers. That's pretty good. I bet his room is just full of those fucking plaques that they give out every time you hit a milestone.
He's probably got a couple plaques, and I also imagine he's got he does the gimmick with the shelf and the Funko Pops and the whatever video games he got gifted to him. This one came with a figurine. It's Minecraft figurine. This is Steve. And this is him in his Batman outfit.
Oh, and this is my 100 million subscriber plank. This whole thing,
this whole thing.
I just use it to keep the door open.
I keep it in the garage normally to light up. Where the wall is.
It's not a big thing. It's not a big thing. But this man apparently he's turned his trade to a burger restaurant in which he has launched the creatively known Mr. Beast Burger. So he launched this officially in 2020 as like a delivery service. So you could only order Mr. Beast burgers online and get them delivered to you. But now he has officially launched a brick and mortar store right here in my neck of the woods in East Rutherford, New Jersey at the American Dream, baby, American Dream Mall. And he had his opening day on Sunday.
Okay.
And
did great.
Did amazing.
Oh, great.
Okay. So after the doors have been open for 2 hours,
2 of those hours,
Mr. Beast shared a video showing the number of people in line for his burgers. And it was estimated to be more than 10,000 people waiting in line.
Just people standing in line. They're not in a car. They're not on their bicycles.
They are standing in a massive line at the mall. So he tweeted
at the mall.
The next day. He claimed in a tweet that he had broken the world record for most burgers sold in a single day. Now, the Guinness Book of World Records clapped back with a quote tweet, but basically saying, "Nah, son, you ain't claiming that shit. We need to see receipts, bitch.
Oh, no.
Like, we need receipts." Just put our name out there on the streets. They didn't put it like that. They put it quite nicely, but basically it's like, we need to prove this first. But so the dumb world record part isn't the fact that he sold an incredible amount of burgers in one day. Almost, hats off to him. Congratulations on successfully launching your bit. However, for some reason, I do feel that probably after about 2 weeks, there'll probably be like 2 people in like I think that this is going to wear off. Maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but
if you but go.
No. I
was going to say, if he was on Shark Tank, they would say like, "Hey man, the internet is the business. Don't open up no stupid brick and mortar shop. Like, you'll get all this business in 3 days, and then it'll just immediately like nosedive and flatline."
Like, if it was a pop-up, that makes sense.
If it's a
limited
pop-up,
no, it doesn't say in the article. So
okay, if it's a pop-up, that's different. If it's a pop-up, that's most likely smarter even.
So that's the kind of bit of information that's important, hence why I'm not calling him out as being a dumb person. Hats off to him.
No, he's got his gimmick.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. However,
this guy's a winner.
The dumb part of this story for me.
Where's the dumb part, Mike?
Is right. Let's just think. Right. So I know of Mr. Beast. Never watched his video, so I can't say I'm a fan. But I'm not hating on the guy. But I'm just trying to think of who would be like someone that's like really famous that I would be like, oh my god, he's got his own burger place near me. I want to go because he's gonna be there. Like, maybe like Ryan Reynolds or The Rock.
Sure,
that'd be really cool. Like, oh my god, that'd be super sweet. However, if I then turned up with the goal of buying a burger and hopefully meeting this celebrity, if I get there and there's maybe 200 people in front of me, I'm gonna go, it's not that worth it. It's not worth it. However, there were some people who turned up and was like, how's the line looking? There's about 9,000 people in front of me. Yep, let's wait. Let's wait it out.
I mean,
fuck me.
You and I are both picturing a single line, 10,000 people deep, and that's obviously not what happened.
No, there was a crowd.
There was a crowd, and they were probably churning them out. Are they doing like 200 in an hour though? That would still be impressive, at least to me, because I don't know what McDonald's does. Grill? I mean, it would have to be a pretty big damn grill, but they would also, yeah. Obviously, these folks are dedicated fans. This guy has already had a successful business where he was delivering these burgers to people.
Not personally, probably.
And well, I'm sure he had a staff. But what I'm saying is, like, he produced a burger so good that people were like, we don't want that shit coming to our home. We want to go out to it. We need to be a part of this. We need to support the artist here. On that, I say congratulations, dude. At the end of the day, It's not hard to make a burger, and I don't feel the need to stand in a line that goes around the block. In and Out Burger. I'm talking to you. But yeah, he probably has a really good product right now, and he's a Jersey boy.
I don't know if he's from Jersey, but the store is open in Jersey.
It'd be weird if he was from Philly and just decided to open a location in New Jersey.
So it's like it's a huge mall, so maybe that was maybe there was some kind of partnership. I don't know. But you got to feel for the guy, like the guy or gal who was like maybe like 9,000th in line, super excited, finally gets to the front of the line, buys her burger, and it's like, is Mr. Beast here? And we're like, oh, yeah, he fucked off 5 hours ago. What the fuck? Do you think he's gonna stay here all day?
You know what? I would feel like once he left after the 2000th person, that news would travel down the line. And again, this line doesn't start off at 9,000 people deep. You know, I'm sure the line goes to the door of the mall, maybe even outside. But like, yeah, word's getting out. Like, yeah, Mr. Beast ain't here. Mr. Beast ain't here. Mr. Beast had. In fact, it's spiraled out of control to like Mr. Beast is like. He had to go to an AC. He had to go to Atlantic City. He's got a big poker game playing or something. Like,
it's got to edit his next video. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So Mr. Beast, Burger Man entrepreneur.
Let's see. I don't know if he has a world record of anything, dude. But good for him.
We'll keep on it.
Small business owner. Good for you.
Keep on it. See if that man sold the most burgers in a day. Congratulations. All right.
Oh.
That wraps up the first half of this week's show. What a first half it was. My gosh, but it's now time to take a pause for the cause. Pay some bills. We'll be back in the second half where we're talking honk, honk, honky for Jesus, save your soul, and so much more. We'll see you right back on the flip side. Hey, you. Yes, you. Was you thinking of having that beer? But my friend, it's only 10 a.m. Won't everyone judge you for drinking this early? Don't worry, we've got just the thing to help you. Your very own Waffle Box mug. And now, everyone will just think you're drinking coffee, so you can enjoy your morning beer judgment-free. Go to wafflemerch.com to get yours today.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Woo! Yeah! Welcome back to Waffle Box. As you heard, it's the middle of the show. It's now a perfect time to play the middle of the show quiz. If this is your first time listening to Waffle Box, watching Waffle Box, where you have been? It's episode 63. But this is the time where we quiz Push Hayes on a certain topic, normally associated with a topic from this week's show. And this week, since we are talking honk honk, honking for Jesus, I thought it's the best time to test Mr. Hayes' knowledge on Jesus Christ.
Oh, actually,
Jesus.
I feel pretty good about those.
Quiz. You may be surprised how difficult this was to find the quiz, because funny enough, some of the information on Jesus a little bit fuzzy.
Okay,
it's very hard to get a good quiz out of that. When you're like, hey, how old was he when he died? And you even look at that, it's like, 35 to 45. Oh, that's not a good answer. So this week, 5 questions.
Okay.
On Jesus, easy crazy. And as always, if you get the question correct, you'll hear this noise, which makes him happy. But if you get this question wrong, you hear this noise, which makes him sad. So 5 questions, so best of 5. Looking to get at least 3 correct. Are you ready for question number 1?
Oh, yeah.
Question number 1, Mr. Hayes. How many people did Jesus famously feed with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishy fish?
Oh, they want a specific number? It was a wedding. That's how much I know. I'm going to say 36.
No, the famous story of the beating of 36 by Jeezy Creasy. Correct answer is 5,000.
5,000?
5,000 people. Yeah, with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. So it was
And
finger
2
food.
fish.
It was finger food.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I mean,
Doesn't say
it
they
always
were
sounded
full.
suspicious to me, but wow, 5,000.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them were like, oh, now we have to go to McDonald's afterwards. Anyway, question number 2. This one freaked me the fuck out. How many people did Jesus raise back from the dead? I didn't even know he
0.
did this. I didn't even know he did this. No, I'll give you a clue. It's more than 0.
1.
3 people.
3?
This
3
guy
old people?
brought back from the dead. So, and again, information's a bit foggy. So one of them's what? So it's Jairus's daughter. Doesn't give her a name. But you'd thought, and it's like the widow's son. Like he brought these people back from the dead. Did you not even think to ask what their name was? Dave. And Lazarus. Lazarus is number 3.
Oh, Lazarus.
Oh,
Lazarus, I should have known. Yeah. I remember, so at first I said 0, but then I remember like, no, there's a story where like some dude had just been on his side sleeping too long and he was just, he anyway, I got it wrong. Doesn't matter.
All right, question number 3 on the Jeezy Creasy quiz. How far did Jesus walk with the cross? So on his way to his crucifixion, which is
Couple miles.
That's a kick in the teeth, right? Like kick you when you're down. Oh yeah, we're gonna crucify you on this cross. Oh, who's gonna take it up there? You are. What? No. Why didn't you say no? What are they gonna do? Kill him? They're gonna kill him anyway.
You can rest when you're dead.
Fucking kill him. Fucking thing.
Yeah, I all I can say is a couple miles, so 2 miles. But that's probably the wrong answer too.
Yeah, it was half a mile. Only half a mile.
Half a mile? Oh, lucky him.
I mean, look,
I had that motherfucker walk a whole mile and a half farther.
I mean, I haven't seen any like photos, but the pictures looked like it was a pretty big cross. So hats off to him.
Jeez.
Question number 4. This one, this is I did this one purposely for you.
Oh, thank you.
So let's see if you get this one right.
Alright.
Who was the first actor to ever play Jeezy Creasy in a movie?
Oh, I got no answer to that. It's not William Dafoe, but he was in the big movie that everyone talks about.
What was that?
The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, let me talk about The Passion of the Christ real quick. I'm super annoyed about that movie because.
Oh wait, that's the Jim Caviezel movie. I was thinking of the Martin Scorsese film, which is still wrong because that ain't the first depiction of Christ.
Like, if you're gonna do like a movie about the Passion of Christ, I figured dive a little bit deeper for his other passions. Like, oh, did you know Jesus had a passion for dance? Oh. For magic? No, just to be in Son of the God. That's his passion. Okay. No.
Nope, just 90-minute ass beating. Sorry.
There's big booty hoes. The first actor to play Jesus was the aptly named Robert Henderson Bland in the movie From the Manger to the Cross, which I like the name of that.
Yeah, I've never
name.
even heard of that.
Like 1934 or something like that. But I like that. I like the name of the movie. I like the name of the movie because it gives you everything you need to know. This movie is going from the manger to the cross. You're getting a whole thing on this bad boy. So I mean, I must.
Like, I know Adam West ain't the original Batman, but I don't know who the dude was in the 1940s either.
There needs to be some crossover. Imagine Jesus with that anti-shark repellent spray or something.
There's no good place to get rid of a bomb.
What a great movie. All right. Question number 5.
Right. One more just for fun.
Try to save your face. Save face here.
That would be great.
What was the first, and I use this term lightly, recorded miracle performed by Jesus?
He gave a dude sight. a blind man was able to see again.
So imagine, right? You're like, long day at work. Oh, I could really use a drink. Oh no, I've only got water.
I thought that was a wedding, and that was. This is bad. Like, I used to go to a Catholic school.
Answer that I just gave you.
Oh, he turned water into wine.
He did. He did. Congratulations. Yes, he turned he turned water into wine at the marriage of Cana of Galilee. What a night! Look, what a great. See, that's turn up at a wedding. What? It's a cash bar? I think so.
No.
Everyone drinks wine.
How rude.
I only drink beer. Fuck you. It's wine or water.
We definitely don't have beer at this time. There's no spritz, no spirits, there's no wine. Oh, no, there's only wine, there's no rum, there's no whiskey, there's no vodka for sure. So it's wine or water. And wine is a whole lot more fun.
Don't forget to tip your waitress. Tip the barman.
They had no tips that day. But yeah, that was a bad contest for me, Mike Fish. I used to go to a Catholic school, and the one subject I would always get a good grade in was religion. It didn't matter that I believed in it or not. That shit was super easy to remember. And well, clearly it's been a while.
I went to a Roman Catholic primary school, so when I was like up until the age of 10. But yeah, I must even the only one I would have got without knowing that would have been the 5,000. Being in the 5,000, it's a famous story. Being 36.
I don't remember that was 5,000, but like numbers are very abstract, especially with that book. But it is what it is. 1 out of 5. It happens, guys.
We move on. We grow.
We move forward.
Let's move on to some stuff about we're gonna. It's a lot of crap in this world, so one by one we're gonna get rid of some shit. And it's this week's Trapdoor.
Yes.
This week's Trapdoor, we're talking reality TV. Inspired by a wifey of mine binge watching some shit over the weekend. And so I was like, you know what? There's a lot of these crappy reality TV shows. One of them's got to go at some point. So we're going to discuss 4 of them. And together we're going to get rid of one. So how much do you watch? Do you watch much reality TV? Kush, are you a reality TV?
I abandoned all that stuff about 20 years ago. Like I watched the first Survivor out of curiosity. Obviously, I would see various incarnations of the Real World and Road Rules and the Real World Road Rules Challenge. But I think I tapped out after Temptation Island and obviously The Littlest Groom, which was only 2 episodes because it was a mini series. Ha. So yeah, after 2004 we didn't do much reality TV. So well, I'm wondering where you're going with this one tonight.
Well, so I'm going to give you 4 TV reality shows, and if need be, I'll try to describe the premise if that will help in the decision making.
Okay.
So the 4 choices we have to get rid of one is Big Brother.
Okay, we were aware of Big Brother.
Love Island.
Not familiar with that, but it can't be much different than Temptation Island.
It's basically where it's put a bunch of single idiots on an island, and let's see what that. Too Hot to Handle.
Never heard of it.
Too Hot. Okay, let me tell you about the fucking premise of Too Hot to Handle, my friend.
Please.
So Too Hot to Handle is, again, similar thing where they just, take to a nice Caribbean island or Mediterranean place. I don't know where it was. And they put all these like hot, sexy people together. And the idea is obviously they eventually couple up, I guess. But here's the catch. For them to win the £100,000 prize money, or $100,000. No, well, I think there is. It's available. It's as with streaming shit. It's widely available over here in the US, and I've heard many Americans talking about it. Because I didn't know it was a thing until I was in America. But yeah, so the catch is to win the prize money, they have to abstain from sex for 30 days.
30 whole days.
And I'm like, I mean, I appreciate I'm getting older now.
How much sex do they have to abstain from? Like, can they not just do this, or can they do other?
I mean,
stuff?
they can put their finger in their own finger, I guess, for those listening.
Okay.
Push Hayes did the thing where he created a hole in one hand, and then he pretended his index finger of the other hand was a penis, and he inserted the finger penis into the finger butthole.
Butthole. All right.
It's a circle.
I know how you roll, Mike Fish. Wow.
It's a circle. So if you're going to do a vagina, you're going to have to at least be more creative with your hand. Yeah, that'll do, I guess. Anyway,
we're gonna make it different now.
Maybe I'm getting old, but I'm like, if someone was like, "Hey, no sex for a month, and I'll give you $100,000," I think, oh, right then, I don't give a shit. $100,000, I can go with that. Though, anyway.
But again, is it just no vaginal sex? Like, are BJs involved here? Or HJs allowed? Can we finger blast on the beach? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, no offense, and not to be that kind of guy, because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm very a generous man, but I don't. The only reason I would finger blast, as you say, is because I'm hoping. Yeah, but because you're hoping to get something in return. Whereas if you can't,
or just touch that pussy, that's a win too.
Again, $100,000. I can go 30. Anyway. Point is, we're getting off topic here slightly. And then the fourth one is Love is Blind, where they I don't know, they don't see each other and they just
are blind people
fall
in
love. No, I think they're like behind a glass or some shit. They're all dumb. They're all dumb. I mean, they could all go, to be fair, if I wanted to, but
they could all go. Like, the only one I've heard of is Big Brother, and I was hoping to come up with a big monologue about why we should get rid of Big Brother, because it's not a good show, and it's actually not, tried.
But at least
it's tried to adapt itself multiple times, which I will give it credit for, and it's whatever. The other three I've never heard of, so it really is.
Let me do a scene, ready, from one of these other ones, right? There,
please.
This is Mike Fish acting a scene from let's go with Love Island, okay?
Mike Fish, Love Island, take one.
An action. Tracy, no, I know I love you, babe. I love you, babe. But you kissed Stacy last night. No, but it was an accident, and you the one that's always borne me, babe. No, but Stacy's my best friend. How could you do that to me? No, but babe. Oh, I forgive you. And scene. It's that for like an hour for about 20 episodes. It's fucking mind-numbing.
So I just gotta say, I felt like I was there, dog. Yeah, you really
save your Netflix subscription, my friend.
I feel like I've caught up on the entire series without even knowing who characters are. I feel like this is a narrative that happens with it could be 6 of our participants, it could be with 12 of our participants, 18, whatever the average, the even number is. I feel like everyone is going through this on this show. So you got a green light from me, dog, and I look forward to seeing you in the quarterfinals.
Thank you.
That's my American.
I accept your rose
impression.
Oh, The Bachelor is another one. Yeah. So I guess, is this a trick?
Let's just say D.
So,
goodbye, D.
Love is Blind. Although, just for fun.
Like, if you told me Love is Blind involved like
Love Island. Yeah.
Oh, none of them exist anymore. Wow. My mom will be disappointed about Big Brother, but good.
Yeah, my buddy Alex will be upset. He does a podcast about Big Brother. Put him out of a job. All right.
I wish Love Is Blind was about someone with sight dating someone who is blind, and all the awkwardness that involved with that. Like, I'm sure some folks have the easiest of times, and I bet some other folks are just like, yeah, I'm really trying here, but I keep putting shit in the way, and she keeps tripping over it, and I just don't know how to handle that, man. Like, it's definitely my fault, but uh,
You know,
I
there'd
don't
be
think I'm
like
cut out for this relationship.
there'd be someone who's like trying it on with a blind woman and just being like, "Hey, yeah, my penis is 9 inches long," and then she'd be like,
She will definitely
"You,
know that.
I've lost my sight, but my other senses are heightened, so I can." Yeah, never mind. It's free. It's free. Anyway,
Her senses are so
that's enough
heightened that
about
she
Spencer
can.
Eldon.
Well,
What a
that's a
callback!
callback,
That's a
kids. That's a
callback, ladies
callback.
and gentlemen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Oh,
there's the
our
money.
first cash throw of the night. Well done. Well done.
That was worth the wait. All right, let's switch attention to some reality TV, to what could be classified technically as a mockumentary of sorts, I guess. It's now time to honk for Jesus to save our soul in this week's Cush's movie review.
Cush's movie review.
In a rare turn of events, Kush is about to review a movie that I've seen as well. Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, in theaters now, but also streaming on Peacock, if I was correct.
Peacock.
Starring Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall, directed by Adama Ebo, her debut.
Thank you.
Which is an adaptation of a 2018 short film of the same name. Pow!
Yeah, I like how you did your research there, Mike Fish. Well done. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, as you said,
Only took me
this
63
is,
episodes.
No, you're really good at that, man. You nailed that shit. Yeah,
Good night, everyone.
Miss Ebo doesn't have much of a resume. This movie, Honk for Jesus, period, Save Your Soul, period, is based on a 2018 short film she made of the same name, featuring the same characters, going through the same bullshit. I was looking forward to seeing this film.
I was too.
And then it wasn't in very many theaters out here in San Francisco. It was in a couple. I would have been happy to make the trek out to see one of them and go outside my Regal Unlimited subscription and just pay full price for a ticket. It was thankfully on Peacock, but that also kind of tells me what I was in store for when I told you about it. So
Straight to DVD, baby.
Straight to DVD. Yeah, this is a case of the trailer was better than the movie itself, unfortunately. Short story, this movie is a 2 out of 5. I wish it was better. It's made for a very, very specific demographic geographically. This is about a mega church pastor who is coming off of a sex scandal, and at first we're seeing a documentary made through the point of view of his wife, and she's actually not hip to this documentary being made, but they're focusing on her a lot, and that's Miss Regina Hall. Obviously Sterling K. Brown, as you said, is the pastor. He plays Lee Childs, and yeah, he went through some shit, and they went from having 26,000 people in their congregation every week to closing the doors and almost bordering up the entire facility, to the point where like their entire congregation is split up, and any that do go to church are now going to other churches, and they have a rival. They make up the rival in their head. Those folks are just trying to speak the word of God in their own way. Kind of similar to pro wrestling, where like, hey, we saw a lot of what we liked, and we definitely saw a lot of what we didn't like, and we're going to try and avoid that and still preach this good word. But the narrative is not good, dude. There are times where we're watching a mockumentary and then we're watching a movie.
Well,
What that
to that
means
point,
is
what I did
break it
like,
down, Mike Fish.
I did appreciate the filming style in
You
that
did. Okay.
it when what almost looked like um fourth, no, not fourth, but you had the black borders on the side when
Yeah.
it was the documentary, and then as soon as it went like quote unquote real life, it went widescreen. So that there was two different filming styles, so you could
That's
very
interesting.
easily tell when, okay, this isn't the documentary, this is
Mhm.
stuff that's happening, if that makes sense. So I thought they did
It
that well.
it does make sense. It actually took me half the movie to see that that's what was going on because in my version, when we're in the mockumentary, I'm getting a full picture, no borders. But when we're in the movie, then I got widescreen. I mean, there's definitely a difference, regardless of what TV we're watching here. However, you know what? Let's watch a movie where there's a documentary being filmed and see parts of that. That's that's one route they could have gone, and it would have made a lot more sense. But we open this film as the mockumentary, and then we're seeing shit that the camera crew isn't seeing, and that's not doing anything good for the narrative. This is supposed to be like raw footage, and this is the stuff that we're not going to see in the real movie. Blah 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 blah. Like this was a sloppy narrative. I'm sure it's based on a lot of specific incidences, maybe not just within the church circuit, but just all around, the whole Me Too movement, because we do get into some very awkward moments here, and
Yes.
those are good, but they're not entertaining. It's
No,
just
well,
kind of
no,
a bummer overall.
no, I think, I mean, and maybe spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Um,
alert.
they they don't allude, or they allude to a controversy at the beginning of the movie, but they don't actually tell you what
Mhm.
it is.
Mhm.
And
You're correct.
I think the comedy in the movie is done very well early on. I think obviously Regina Hall was very good at comedy. She's fantastic body language, fantastic facials, very good timing. She's a fantastic comedy actress. And
Correct.
Sterling K. Brown, I thought he was very good in his, because he's very, normally everyone knows him mostly for his serious role in This Is Us. So I thought
Mhm.
he played his quote unquote straight role very well, and
Mhm.
his comedy was very good as well. Almost, I think he's one of those where you like, because you don't expect him to be funny, you almost find it funnier than you should, if that makes sense. To
I hear
some,
what you're saying.
so I was kind of getting into this. Oh, here we go. This is funny. This is fun. And then all of a sudden you find out that the controversy is, oh, he was inappropriate with young boys. And it's like, oh, okay. And then there are some scenes where he's talking to, not against, but not, we're not talking like children, but young,
Mhm.
but like 17
He's still a
ish.
married man, and he's flirting with other dudes.
And it does get a bit awkward. And then there's that scene at the end
Mhm.
where he's confronted by a previous.
He's actually confronted by the guy that has. There's four guys suing him,
I think it was
and this was
five.
one of
Fight
them.
the fight, four people,
Even if
four
it's five,
settled.
it could
Anyway,
be
yes,
10. Could
but
be
he was the
10.
only one
Whatever.
that held out, basically, and he confronts him,
Sure. Okay. Okay.
and it's just very awkward,
Yeah.
uh,
There's a lot of awkward
and not
scenes
in a
in this
good
film,
way,
and
and not in
it's
a
not
good
fun.
way.
Hmm.
It's and then the ending, Jesus, Jesus. What did you
They
think
got
about the
Regina
ending?
King dressed up as a mime, and I'm just like, you guys are doing like five too much. Not even too much, just five much. There's a lot of desperation in this movie. They're trying to get back
And I
what
think
they
they
used to
portray that
have.
in the movie very well. The
Hmm.
desperation of the couple does come
Hmm.
through very well. So For me, the biggest thing for me, and when I was thinking about this after I watched it, I was thinking about, hey, what score would I give this? And I was genuinely thinking of giving this a 4 out of 5
Wow. Okay.
until
Until.
the ending, and that
Mhm.
knocked it down because so the ending of the movie is very just abrupt and out of nowhere,
Mhm.
which typically, when done in movies, and you're more of the movie person than I am, so you'll know.
I am.
But to me, I feel that is done when the story is told so well. They basically want you to come out of that with people having different opinions. Oh, no, I think this happened. No, this happened. Blah, blah, blah. Sort of like the Sopranos ending, where a lot of people think he died, a lot of people think he survived. Blah 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 blah. They don't give you the answer, so you kind of, wow, this is where I think it went. But I don't think this story was good enough to warrant that kind of ending. And so literally, I just sat there and I was like, oh, that's it. What the fuck was that?
No.
What the fuck was that?
So this style of movie, if they wanted to show Sterling K. Brown getting shot, which is how I thought it was going to end. In fact, that
That's
whole
where I
scene
thought it was going to go.
where, like, I was 100%, and maybe that's just me projecting. Sure, I'll accept that. But I thought someone was getting killed 100%, and it just ends up with just some guy doing donuts in the parking lot, and our guy just still reveling in his vanity, which is a sin in the Catholic Church, in the Christian Church, all the churches mostly. Until the ending is all about he hasn't learned anything, and despite the fact that he's accepted that they went from 26,000 people to he's estimating 500 people, and we don't even see that many folks
And he's just
show up.
happy
We
that
see
one
one
person showed
family,
up.
a family of 4. That was it. Nothing's been learned. Life goes on. Same mistakes will be made. This gentleman is going to only make his wife's life worse. His wife's life. Yeah, no, I said it right. Good.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
I
lot
thought
more could have been done with this film. This could have been, the message of it could have been told better. It's not necessarily based on one story. It's based on a lot of different stories, and you're supposed to be just kind of just disgusted the entire time. Like, there's a whole scene where they take, like, oh, Sterling K. Brown's character has a lot of Prada accessories that all begin with P. I'm sure there are other other letters of the alphabet that Prada begins with, but like, we got the porcelain Prada, we got the purple Prada, we got the pink Prada, we got the
him showing off his
thing.
wardrobe was, I thought that was a fantastic scene.
It's a good scene, and it's supposed to make you hate these people even more.
Yeah, and I that's why I think if the ending was different, this movie would have been fantastic, because it showed his vanity, his ego, and all of that. And then you find out he's not only cheating on his wife, but he's also luring young boys, and in the fake promise of he's going to quote unquote save them and help them, but he's actually diddling with them. And then you have that confrontation where almost one of them, he wasn't almost mad that what had happened. He was mad that he wasn't the only one, and you lied to me. I thought I was the only one, and it just becomes this whole mess. And I genuinely thought, this is why I was enjoying it to a point, is that when he was saying at the end, when that car pulls up and starts doing the donuts, and
they're here for me.
He's repeating, they're here for me. They're here, and he's so happy. They're here for me. I thought the ending, if someone just pulled out a gun and shot him because they were there for him, that would have been such a great ending of his story. Where right to the one, he got what he deserved, but also right to the very end, he hadn't changed. That would have been a great ending. And I genuinely think if that was the ending and done way better than maybe I said it, that could have been a 4 out of 5 movie. But the ending was just
I think it's more interesting that both you and I, from different parts of the world came to the same conclusion that we thought this gentleman was going to get shot, not even stabbed, not beat up, not murdered horribly with a strangulation. We both thought that he was going to get shot. I think we both might be projecting something there. However, it was still a sloppily told story. And you said you were prepared to give this a 4 out of 5, but what was your final conclusion once you saw the entire project?
I think, okay, so this is where I was just going to give an idea of where my mindset is, right? In this type of story. So, and for those who aren't into wrestling, I apologize, but maybe I'm going to try to give a good adaptation of this and I'll give you a good storyline. Okay, do you remember the Triple H versus Booker T feud heading into WrestleMania 19? Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay, so for those that don't watch wrestling or never did or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So the build up to this story. So Triple H was playing at the time this clean shaven, suit wearing, Ric Flair wannabe, hoity toity, I am better than you, I'm rich, and yeah, he was basically white privilege personified. That's what his character was.
100%.
And he was facing a man named Booker T, who was, I guess, let's just say a little bit more rough around the edges. And he was the everyman. He was the guy who'd been the lowest of lowest, but he was just trying to redeem himself. They mentioned his real life arrest record and things like that here. He'd been arrested by robbing I think it was like a 7-Eleven or something like that. And basically he was a criminal in the past and yada, 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 yada. And all throughout the build up to this match, Triple H was pretty much saying everything to him except the N-word. It was so racially overtoned. It was like I pretty much, at least on one occasion, he was like, you people should be doing this for me. You people should be, I think he said like jucking and jiving or some shit. Like it was like some really awkward, creepy shit he was saying. But I remember at the time, I was loving it. I was eating everything he said because in my mind, I was running ahead of the storyline. So, oh yes, this guy who is white privilege through and through is talking down to this African American in these racial overtones. At the end of the day, at WrestleMania, Booker T is going to wipe the floor with him. He's going to slap the shit out of this guy, take his world title away from him, and that story is going to be incredible. I was so hyped for it. And then WrestleMania comes around, and Triple H, the white power racist, beats the African American. And suddenly I'm like, oh, this is fucking horrible. What the fuck? So, in a similar vein, this is where, for me, leading, because I thought I can see where this is going. This is going to be a great story. I'm ready to give this 4 out of 5. And then that ending, so I'm with you on it. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 was not good. The ending of the story ruined the whole story for me.
Yeah. And I think this is a movie that's actually built for like a very specific demographic. Now, anyone who goes to one of those mega churches, anyone who is given more than they can afford to help the church out, and then those folks are living in mansions and driving sports cars and dressing themselves in Prada. Like, I feel like those folks are the ones who would relate to all of this the most. So it's just not a movie I can relate to. It wasn't I don't think it was a good narrative, but yeah, 2 out of 5 is my story here. And WrestleMania 19 was also disappointing, but sometimes the good guy doesn't win.
No, I can appreciate it, but don't set up the story like that if you're not going to have the good guy win.
Sometimes the story has to be set up like that.
No, anyway,
there was unfortunately no rematch.
No rematch. That was a dark day. Dark day. Anyway, gross, if you do like to if you do like to see something about like these mega churches and all that good stuff that is actually entertaining, check out HBO's Righteous Gemstones. Fantastic TV show.
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh my god! Seriously, I mean, I don't like to overhype things because I know if you overhype something, it can, no matter how good it is, it's not going to reach that level. So I'm not, but definitely check out a couple of like the first 2 or 3 episodes. If you don't like it, then don't watch it. But I think it's a quality show. Quality show. You haven't watched The Wire either. Jesus
People like what they like.
You need. Do you not? Have you got something against HBO? Is that it?
No, I watch a lot of HBO actually.
And you've never watched Righteous Gemstones or Wire?
Nope.
Game of Thrones? Did you watch that?
I did. Those what got me through the first 2 weeks of me not smoking cigarettes.
Well, good for them.
For the first 4 seasons. Like I binged that shit. It was wild. It was stressful.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
But we're not watching House of the Dragon.
No, we're not.
Because we don't care.
Anyway, let's wrap this week's show up because this has been it's a flown by. What a great day. So before we wrap up the show with the feel good story of the week, just to bring all the vibes back up high. Let's give some plugs, obviously. Same as always, if you are listening to Waffle Box, thank you very much for listening. Make sure you hit the follow button wherever you are listening. If you are listening to us on Spotify, give us a rating. Star rating, maybe a 5. I'm not gonna try to put words in your mouth, but 5 is good. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you can actually write us a review, make it funny. I'll read it out, make it funny. But if you do want to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube. For all the links of where you can listen and watch the show, enjoy at wafflebox.com. If you do want to follow myself on Twitter, I am at Mr. Mike Fish. And this guy over here is
at Kush_Hayes.
At Kush_Hayes. But this man also produces way more. We are like content kings. Real shout out real quick. Also, by the way, next week or this coming week, I've mentioned before, I also have a Twitch channel, Pop Couture, twitch.tv/Pop Couture, POPCOUTURE. Holy cow, we've got lots of content coming up this week. This Thursday at 8:30 Eastern, we've got Not a Strong Start movie podcast live on that channel. And then heading into the weekend, if you enjoy your Formula One, 2 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, we're going to have a live reaction review with myself and Ramblin' Ronnie from the Ramblin' Ronnie podcast, reviewing the Italian Grand Prix. And on Monday, Pop the Crowd wrestling podcast, where we get into more wrestling and stuff like that. And then Tuesday, there's so much stuff. So go to twitch.tv/popcouture to see way more content. And then this guy over here, he's head of the Bosnet family. There's so much content for that. What's exciting is coming out over the next 7 days.
I wish I had a better answer for you. We are in a weird spot right now, but new microdose this week. Probably going to be a clip show. That's all I got for you. Otherwise, check out Kush and Kai. Check out the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast. Check out Sweet Science Cinema. All episodes are available, not just on the Bosnet.family, but most of your usual podcast streaming platforms.
Why is there no new microdose this week? Was it lack of guests or lack of time to do it?
Both.
Because, you know someone that does podcasts, right?
If
you want
to be on every microdose podcast, I will gladly have you. But I figure you're already busy, and we do the Waffle Box as it is.
In case of emergency, break glass. Get your boy.
Dude, I will be talking to you after this episode. Then, right now,
do it. All right, let's end the show. Wrap it up. Boop 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 boop. With this week's feel good story of the week.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
Yeah. If you are listening to this or watching this in England, or if you are of an English persuasion, you are going to giggle at the name of this person that we're about to talk about. We are talking about the feel-good story involving 83-year-old Ted Knobs.
Theodore Knobs.
If you don't know, we in England we used to call penises knobs. Anyway.
We in America also call them knobs.
Oh, good.
Don't you worry about that.
Good. Penises for everyone. So this story features bunch of brothers. Ted, who is 83, and his brother Jeff, who is 79, are meeting for the very first time as we speak, as we record this episode. You may be wondering,
Very
what?
cool.
Why is it taking him so long? Well, here's the story, and it's pretty fucking amazing. So, back in the old World War II, or as the French like to call it, World War II. Probably call it something better than that. But so basically, at the end, towards the end of that Second World War, they were separated basically at birth after their mum tragically died of cancer at the age of 30 in 1945, just months before the end of the Second World War. Their father at the time, he was like, basically, he wasn't able to cope caring for the boys. Decided to send Jeff off, who was 1 year old at the time, off to adoption to give him a chance of a better life. Because obviously, hey, look, if I can't handle these boys on my own right now, there's a war going on as well. It's really not a good time. So he put him up for adoption. Jeff was adopted by his family, who then, after the Second World War, moved to Australia, which is over 10,000 miles away from England. So after finding out that he had a long lost brother, Ted decided to do some searching, and which he began in 1994, which obviously, even back then, it probably wasn't the easiest thing to do because records wasn't there and the internet was hardly a thing back then. But luckily, 20 years later, Jeff, actually, the guy in Australia, managed to track them down and sent them a letter to say, hey, I think I'm your brother. They originally was planned to meet for Ted's 80th birthday, but obviously COVID got in the way, and you couldn't get into England from Australia for love nor money. Although he did send him a nice video message for his birthday. So that's the first time. And then but yeah, so this past Sunday, so as we're recording this 2 days ago, Ted finally boarded a flight 22 hours from London to Sydney at 83 years old to finally meet his brother for the very first time. What a wonderful story.
Not only is that beautiful, but Kush Hayes relates to that because he has met two siblings that he never knew he had. Literally, 4 years ago now, maybe even 5 years ago. And thanks to Ancestry.com and 23andMe, we discovered these extra siblings. And it's really cool. So I appreciate this feel-good story tonight.
Was Papa a Rolling Stone, Cushays?
Oh, Daddy Hayes had to... That's all I got to say about that.
Wherever he saw, he liked
all different
to
mothers.
Bone. What else do I know?
I like where you went there, man. But yeah, all different mamas. Very, very, very tight windows. But yeah,
are you all ginger?
I appreciate this. I appreciate this story tonight.
Are all the discovered siblings redheads?
No.
No, that would have been magical. That would have been like the cherry, no pun intended, because they're red, but that would have been the icing on the cake. Let's say that.
I hear what you're saying. No, it would have been very cool, but nope. One brother, no, everyone's brunettes.
That's close
I
enough.
think we have a sister that's a blonde, but still.
Yeah. Well, they just like Bonds have way more fun apparently. Anyway, well, that wraps up this bonkers bumper episode of Waffle Box. Because why wouldn't you celebrate episode 63 with a massive
63.
Maybe. Also, just to give you a heads up, I'm not going to give you a date of when we're going to do this, but I was discussing off air to Mr. Hayes over there. That rhymed. That I think we've worked because we tried to basically do a live episode on StreamYard, but for whatever reason, StreamYard fucking hates Kush, and it just wouldn't work. But I think I may have found a workaround. So again, no promises, no dates announced, but we finally might be able to do a live episode of Waffle Box where you can chime in and get your comments in and interact with the show as we go live. Exciting stuff. But yeah, until then, don't forget, obviously, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets, tell your priests about Waffle Box. Get them to listen. Give them a thumbs up. Thank you all for listening. Until next week, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.